It is Thursday. It is already a little bit sunny, so I expect it to be a little warm today, warmer than yesterday, I think. We had more clouds, so today is a little less cloudy, um, kind of like what's in the game at the moment. So probably going to get pretty warm. Um, we had maintenance yesterday. I didn't see any notes posted. Either I missed them or there weren't any. Um, it was short maintenance, so maybe it was just some usual, little bug fixes and stuff. Nothing, I mean, not that they're not important, but nothing major, I guess, is probably the best way to say it. Let me put up my tweet real quick. So that is done, and we are good. Okay, we had house tours yesterday, which went really well. Um, and we're back to the grindstone today. As you can see, we're on my alts plot, Parsley's plot for the outdoor theater. We're going to be working in the, I call it the understage. It's like the backstage, but it's underground, so it's understage for me. Hey, Cheeky, good morning. Glad you could join us. I still need to turn off the clutter on this plot. I keep forgetting. That's kind of frustrating when you are working mostly with your main on an alts plot. You keep having to switch back to the alt if you want to do any kind of like sky changes, ground changes, that kind of thing. I wish they would unlock that kind of stuff for whatever character you happen to be on, so you don't have to keep switching, because I tend to forget to go back to that. I'll have to make a note or something. Hey world, good morning. Glad you could join us. So yeah, let's see if I can get the door to trigger. This one you have to be kind of just in the right spot. There we go. Whoop. There we go. You may recognize this from Cherville's plot, the Pokemon plot. I went ahead and just replicated that underground area. I kind of liked the way it looked. I can always expand it by pushing out the pillars that are being used to for the walls. But at the moment, I haven't changed the floor or anything. Again, I keep forgetting to get onto the alt that actually controls that. But basically it's just a single orange sconce, and then the rest of it is granite pillars. It's all just linked together. I just made a copy of it from the previous plot, come down here and placed it all. The only thing you have to be sure is you stand in the right spot, otherwise it doesn't want to place. But like I said, if I wanted to make some room for additional space, I could just push it out and widen it up a little bit, just add some extra pieces, and that'll be good. For now, though, we're going to keep it kind of small. I like reducing the size of the space that I am given because it helps keep me from overextending myself, especially on the exterior. I'm horrible at landscaping, so I kind of try to do as little of that as possible, and I'm kind of getting that way with interiors as well. It's not that I'm lazy or anything. I'm just not very skilled at dividing up a room nicely. Like I have trouble with staircases, making that gap at the top work smoothly for when you're going up, making sure the hole is big enough. I keep wanting to make it smaller than it should be, and it causes my character to get stuck and all that kind of stuff. Hey Poi, good morning. Glad you could join. So yeah, this is supposed to be the backstage area, the understage, whatever you want to call it, for where the actors for the theater would come and prepare their outfits, get dressed up. So this is going to be where they're going to have their clothing closets. that kind of thing. It's going to be something similar to what we saw yesterday on Bones' plot in the Speakeasy, where they had the backstage dressing room. I really liked the vanity table with all the lights and stuff. So I'm going to be using that as kind of inspiration for that, for this, but I'm definitely going to try and build it differently. So uh, I think what we'll do is we're going to make, trying to decide how I want to do this, where I want things. I don't know if I want one vanity table that all of the actors would share. I think that would probably be easiest. Um, just so that I only have to make this table once. Not that it's really hard to duplicate now that we have Katya's, set things. We can make a set and then copy it really fast. It's just more parts and all that kind of stuff. So let's do the one table and then we'll go from there. So I think Bones used the medical tables for the speakeasy. And I can't remember if it was Windows for the mirror or not. I'm probably going to be using that myself, but I'm going to see what we got available. The Windows section, apparently I didn't have any in the crate, so I'll have to, I'm looking at the back of them because the front, it's got the little framework that you don't want to have, so looking at the back. It's probably going to be this, the barred window. But see how you can get it here, you can also get it here, and it's cheaper because the other one has that added little window basket on the other side. Just go for the cheaper if you can. I'm just double checking what I want or don't want. Definitely don't want the haunted ones, 'cause that's just not. I find it strange that some of the glass is actually, well, I guess all of it, well, I don't know. It seems like it's missing some of the glass. But yeah, I think I'm just going to use the large barred. Trying to think if there's anything else I could probably get away with using. I don't think I have any more gears. The gear trophy, that I think that would work really good. Oops, spelled that wrong. Yeah. So I was looking for something more squarish than having that round curve kind of thing. Um, Let me look at containers real quick. Mm-hmm. See, that's not really flat, and it's got that red part on there, and that's definitely not flat. I don't really want anything kind of wood. Let's see, I wonder. I'm gonna put one of these down. Just as a possible. We have a lot of round stuff. If you want a round mirror, I think the metal plate probably works best because it's shiny. The file works really well too if you don't mind kind of a bluish tint. Just wondering if this will work. I'm thinking. Trying to make this into like a frame. And then maybe I can use that window. Yeah, I'm going to put it this way. That way, if the curve actually shows, then maybe I can cover it up with the table part. Turn it. I'm hoping this will work, but don't know. Seems to kinda, the frame bits are showing a little bit, so maybe that down just a bit. Oops, wrong number. Yeah, it's like just kind of a little bowed on the side, so it's a little funky. And of course, I've got it, the trim is also showing on the outside where the box part is. Hey Faye, good morning. So we'll just have to kind of center it as best we can. And then, like I said, the countertop bit will cover up that curved part that I don't want showing. Now, I know, I think I would prefer to be more like a rectangle shape, but I think that's not going to work quite right, so I'm just going to leave it like that. For the top, I'll probably go with travel posters, I think. The Adventure Awaits is usually my go-to one because it's like the first one listed and it's a cheap poster, so. And I'm not really worried about the picture per se because I'm not using it in that way, so that's not a biggie. Now, if you want to save on decor, using a table is much better. Obviously, you're gonna only use the one piece. Probably the best table for like a nice slick look is the medical table that was used before in I think it was Bones's. Let's see, I'm trying to think if there's another table that would probably look really nice. Really, a lot of it depends on the color scheme, probably that you're going for. But like really nice ones. I'm trying to steer away from like the wonky looking ones, like the picnic table and stuff. So like the Dominion conference table would probably work really nice. Let's see. We can go through some of them. Like that's really nice. Just make sure you get the cheaper one. This one's the 50 silver one. There's a 10 silver one as well. This one works good if you don't mind the way the legs kind of come out. There's the 10 silver one. Identical to the other. I don't know. And the exile one. Couldn't think of it. But yeah, that one would work really nice too. I also like the table one as a bench. I know there's an actual exile bench, but this looks um, like a bench as well. So I think it could be either or. Now notice that the height of it's pretty big. I'm kind of leaving it this size. One, it will make it easier to for other characters to kind of pretend like they're sitting there in the makeup. Maybe they share it or something. I don't know. For the lights, though, they don't have any lighting either. It's weird. My mains crate is like cram packed with all sorts of stuff, and my alts have like little of nothing. Now I think Bones, for theirs, they used a combination of the orange sconces and the blue files, which worked really nicely. But again, I don't want to use the same thing, so I'm gonna try and find something. Looking for, you could use this maybe. Um, it doesn't really give off any light though. This would probably work okay. They're expensive though, so be aware. 15 gold a pop, that's not cheap, especially for newer builders that are just now working up their cash reserves. That can be pretty intimidating. Just like, I'm all the time building in bunker houses because usually if I get a plot, a new character, I just automatically buy the bunker house because I typically don't like the prefab homes. It's nothing because it's not because they're bad. It's just I prefer to tinker around doing my own thing. And I know most beginner builders probably can't have that luxury. It's just I happen to have a lot of money built up over the years. So, and it's not that I forget. It's just like a lot of things we do require or utilize, I should say. They don't necessarily require. Whoops. Utilize Catius Fab Kit, and I know there was some that was talking about it. I think it was on Twitter or something, saying that it's pretty much a given that people are using it. And yes and no. I know there's a lot of builders that still don't, even seasoned builders that don't use it. And I think it's only right that those of us that mess with these things, especially if we're trying to show someone how to do it, to understand that that's a possibility, that they won't want to use that, because there's a lot of people that have things against those third-party type of things. I don't know if this is going to look as snazzy as Bones's, but excuse me. That's like what, 45 gold I just tossed as if it was nothing. Just, I don't know. Can't add. Maybe it's not 45 anyway. Okay, so there's my lit up mirror kind of thing. Maybe I want this up a little bit. Make that a little bit more even. And later, if you decide that the table part is a little too high, which it looks a little bit high, just lower it down a little bit, and that's No biggie. In fact, we'll do that right now. We'll go ahead and link everything up to the mirror itself. Just, whoops, I have to link the crate. And just push it down to wherever you think it should be. Okay, and then of course, you know, you're going to want bottles and things. So um, we have the usual, like the drinking bottles. We have the regular medium and short, those are typical. But you could probably find other things that would work as bottles. Shrunken down vases, uh, like the urns, or not the urns, the ritual pots, I think is what I'm thinking of. Yeah, these, shrink them down a bit. Those would be nice little perfume bottles, makeup kind of things. Um, Bowls for powders, that kind of stuff. If you're wanting to like try to like do application tools, little miniature mops would probably work. I know those also would be considered like for painting, for like paint brushes and things like that. But it also work for like makeup, you know, just over just a little bit. But before I want to add any of those details, I need to get the rest of this little desk thing set up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to thicken this up. Zero for that. And then I'm going to link that one together. Now, if you're just now kind of getting back into things and you've just updated your Katya's add-on, and you know you're one of us that actually use it pretty regularly, you'll probably notice there's a lot of changes. If you're having any trouble working with the new set manager setup, I think it was Chef Noriak. He put up a really nice tutorial that kind of goes over these new features in addition to some other things. But he's got a lot of KBT tutorials, and once she did this major update, he put out some updated tutorials for that, just to kind of give people a little better feel of how this works. You're welcome to follow along with me, but I don't normally like walk you through it every time. I just use it now, so it's not, you know, if you have a question about it, feel free to ask. But if you really want to have a helpful uh, tutorial that you can kind of start and stop and replay or whatever, Noriak has some really good ones. The links to his playlist, his tutorial playlist, is on the Twitch channel page there, my channel. So just check there. just click this one. And let's see, trying to think what else. Maybe some metal edged. Cube, medium, for this one. I don't know if this is going to look right, but I'm going to try it anyway. Yeah, I think that one, Poi, is Noriak's actual housing tours that he does. He likes to do his in first person. In fact, he just put a new one out last week, I think. But his add-ons, I think, is on the add-on one. Uh, uh, Little thingy that you have. Oh, what the heck are the commands? The add-on one is the one that actually. I asked Ayuni if they were still doing them, and the last I heard, she said yes, but they were not scheduled. Before they were trying to do the tours for NA every Monday, but something about their scheduling kept messing up, so uh, they decided to just kind of wing it. So it's just kind of a hit and miss. You might get lucky and see it, but I haven't seen them advertise it. So as far as I know, they haven't done haven't done one lately. I think they've done a total of 3, maybe 4. I think. I'm honestly not sure. Um, but as you guys have seen on mine, sometimes scheduling is just kind of meh. It's a little tough to uh, keep up with your schedule. That's kind of the reason why I can kind of leave myself a window between 8 and 11 in the morning. I try to make sure. Yes, primarily I get up and get it started around 8, 8:30, but it can go later. Thank you, Poi. That's the one. His tutorials are on the add-ons one. Yeah. Now I know that they're having that. Oops, I think I didn't do that right. Let me try that again. What was I saying? Oh, that NA is having a housing competition, and I would assume that if your house is in the competition, that they may do some actual like video footage of it. Now, don't hold me to that. I didn't really read through to see if that was going to be the case, but I know, well, I know Chestnut's into the podcasting, so that's not really video footage, but I want to say she's done yardcore videos before, which I think she's mentioned on Twitter that she had one that she still needed to post. Um, so that may be something that they do for the housing competition for the Lifestyles of Nexus one that they're working on right now. But I don't know for sure if that's the plan. So that might be a way that people can see some of the houses over there, decide to stream or at least video some of it. Um, the issue is usually when it's a competition like that, they go for only showing the winners. So if they have like 30 entries but only 4 winners, then they only video the 4. I know Niliana and their group, when they were doing it for Javit's side, they usually try to make a pretty good effort of showing everybody's stuff. But it's just time consuming, so I can understand if you've got like tons of entries, then it's pretty rough to try and manage all that, not just videos, but screenshots and things. You know, speaking from experience, I know it's pretty time consuming. Okay, so there's lots of things you could use for handles of drawers. There's probably one of the favorites is like well, if it's like an upright kind of thing, like a refrigerator or like a cabinet or something, the vintage beer mug handles are really good. If you have crafting available, then the handle of the wood, the firewood basket is another favorite. Um, uh, the magnetized container is another favorite. Suitcase, you can kind of use that a little bit. The wooden crate, the big wooden one with the metal handles, that's another favorite. Usually though, we usually go for knobs, like for doorknobs or drawer knobs, and the bottles are like our go-to kind of thing. You could use lots of other things if you want the look different, like you could use the top of a wine bottle instead, if that color goes better for you. Like we'll use that here. The only thing is, see how the bottle's a little crooked? That means your handle will look a little crooked as well. So you can either opt to fix it, to straighten it up, and then adjust it however you need, or leave it crooked and just make sure all of them are that way. Now, if I had been smart, I would have set up one drawer first and then copied that over, but I'm not that smart, so I just do it the hard way. So one of the handles probably won't be exactly centered, but that's okay. My stuff's always a little off. But that could be like where they have their makeup brushes, maybe fake eyelashes or wigs or something, I don't know. Well, I guess your wigs would be on little headstands, but anywho. Um, so let's see, I'm kind of liking the look of this. Now, if you really want, I don't see that these are actually giving off any actual light. So if you're wanting some actual light, I would say just insert something in behind it. But it's pretty nicely lit in here. It's not that dark, so I'm not worried about that for me. So let's see. Maybe trying to think what would go here besides just your usual bottles and stuff. Now, if you don't want your bottles looking like the usual bottles, you could try and make them a little different. You want a like a taller bottle kind of thing. Do it that way. It just changes it just slightly, just enough to kind of thing was a little floaty, wasn't it? Not my intention. Again, the mops work really good for for face painting if you want to do it like that. So like a mop, basically you just shrink it down really small. Maybe not that small. We want it visible. Maybe there's jewelry boxes. You know, maybe they have some costume jewelry that they want to wear. Maybe this is, maybe you want to set it up as a particular character getting dressed. So like if you want to, since we have Snow White's stage upstairs, maybe this is where the queen is getting prepared. So you might have a little, like a crown. I think she's got a golden, like mini pointed crown kind of thing. I don't know how you would make a crown. Let's see. Um, Cylinder maybe? Need something round and golden. Maybe a bowl would be better. See what kind of round stuffs we have. It's all silver. It's all hover part junk. No. Probably like, I don't think we have anything gold. Yeah, that, but that's not really nifty. Let's see. Look in containers real quick. Again. Bananas are coming to mind, but I really don't want to use a bunch of bananas to try and make a pointed crown. Because first I would need something round to use as a guide to kind of keep it the right shape. Like this would probably be good as a crown starter. Since it's golden, probably want that to be small. And we'll straighten that out just to make it easier to mess with. Now it's probably really big for whatever character is going to be using it. I might shrink it a little bit more, but sometimes it's good to build it big first and then go from there. So let me see what this looks like. Extra. Just trying to give it a little bit of a, you know how a crown is usually like the back part is a little thinner and the front part is a little bit more flared kind of thing, sort of. I don't know if that makes sense, but maybe slightly smaller. I like that to that top piece. And so just pretend that this is the actor, well, actress preparing for the queen's outfit. So she's got her crown ready. If you want to get real particular and make it all pointed, you could do that. I'm just kind of being cheap about it. Um, you could have a little capstock keeps coming to mind. That's not the right word. I mean it is, but it's different language. Coat rack or whatever, clothing rack. You could maybe have a hook here and have her outfit, her cape, her dress prepared or ready. I think what's her dress? It was like purple, I think, purple, and she had a black cape, and the purple had like a red belt kind of thing going with it. And I think her the purple outfit had like, well, maybe it was the cape. It had like a white kind of butterfly collar kind of thing going on. So you could maybe put something like that together. That might be another outfit we'll play around with. Uh, Maybe we'll do that tomorrow. Um, but then you would want to like maybe set up some makeups that would be the right colors for her, because I know she's got like uh, purple, I think it's purple accents on her face, like the eyeshadow and stuff, or maybe set her little that little mirror with the guy's face in it, as a prop to the side here. Make this her little corner with all the little extra, but all the evil, parts of it. Um, let's see, for makeups, let's looking for something that's light. Um, but got like a sage pod. What am I looking for? Pod planter, I think is what I'm searching for. I don't know if that's exactly right, but we'll go with it. So if this was like an assortment of makeups, we'd have what different colors. So red, really quickly, is like the Chua pillow, couch pillow. Where is that thing? I want that on its side. Probably the flattest side as well. Still too big. And like something green. So I guess you would use like the green pillow. Might be too small for that thing. I'm sure there's like an order of how you're supposed to have your colors rated or whatever, like a gradient kind of looking thing, but I'm just thinking of colors off the top of my head and working with it from there. It's not going to be exactly right. Let's see, what's another one? Yellow. The banana would be probably all right for that. Just have to pay attention to that stem, making sure that it's now, because I'm having to size that banana down quite a bit to fit the tray. You might have to double up on it just to get it to be wide enough. That makes sense. Like, I probably should do that with the green as well. You can see the stem over there, just enough. Maybe pretend that's not there. What's another color? Blue. Blue, 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 blue. Probably the sleeping bag, maybe. Straight one more than likely for that edge here. Like playing with crayons, you just kind of keep adding in some colors. If you want a darker blue, maybe some of the fireworks would work okay with that. I'm trying to think what could use for white. Probably the snow clump is easiest for me, but you could also use the edges of the towels. There's the ice rock blocks. The only thing about those is when you make them smaller, they pretty much disappear. At this distance, I can still see all of my colors in the little makeup palette thing. But with the ice rock blocks and such, if you make them pretty small, you have to kind of zoom in to see them. I'll probably just use a snow clump. Snow clump's kind of the same way, but I'm hoping that don't have to use that too tiny. Because again, I'm just using the edge of it, so. Trying to think what other colors am I missing? Something orange maybe? Carrot fleshy would probably work okay for that. There's the pumpkins, you might be able to use that. The bottles themselves are kind of orange, so if you flip them over, you might get an orange color. Purples, those would be good for like the pillows, that kind of thing. If you're going for black, probably if it has to be super, super black, I'd say the bottom of that exile post, the fence post. If it's more, if you're going for more kind of a black gray, not the vent tank because it's got that little extra swirly in the middle, but like the metal plank would probably be okay. Even a travel poster would work well for that. Trying to think what else. Another good blue is the files. Um, the glowing space suite upside down makes a really pretty blue. I wouldn't use the frost spore since it's animated. You don't want your makeup or painting palette or whatever it is you decide to make. You don't want that wiggling around. But this one here, a nice dark black. You'd probably have to use 2 or 3 of them to get it. Um, well, in this case, I'll probably need 2 or 3 of them, but I'm going to see if this works. I have to size it down quite a bit, I think. I'm going to see if I can kind of cheat and get this. I don't think that's going to work like I was hoping. We'll just do like I suspected. It would probably been easier to put together if I had left it straight first. That's exactly why I do that most of the time. Just didn't this time. I just moved it and there it was. There's like makeup kit. It could also be, this could be used at the tailor shop as different kinds of threads. But I'm going to move this brush over here to kind of go with that a little bit. Actually, let's. If you want to give the crown bit something, let's see, I would use a bust. He's actually probably better than the other one. The soldier, she's already got like a weird little hat on. So I would just stick with Malvolio. I used him in the gift shop at the miniature golf park for holding the caps, baseball caps or whatever. So what I did was I loaded him up next to my character and kind of sized him so that his head was about the same, and that helped judge about how big the hat needed to be. You can go up a little bit bigger if you want, but if you're wanting, especially if you're doing it for like supposed props for your characters, you don't want to make it too big. But like if you know your lead character is a Granok, size it to them so that it looks a little bit more proper. So we'll use this as her crown holder. That gives us an idea of how the size that we need to make it. Not going to fit exactly. This is another way of dressing up those busts if you want to give them actual outfits and stuff. I've used it in the store as a hat. Again, a hat thing. I've got like the fruit hat on one and sun hat on another. But you could also like fashion some jewelry, have like some lockets and things coming off of it. So there's her crown, and got her makeup sorted. Tomorrow we'll work on her clothing wardrobe thing. Um, Chair, probably a stool is best. If you don't want to use the traditional stools, you could just make your own. Domes and stuff work okay with that. You could just put a cylinder down with a little cushion on top if you want. Um, Trying to think what else. Uh, or you could just use a regular chair. That's okay, especially if you want them to actually be able to sit on it. Put in a chair, so just use the, what is it, the Marauder, I think is what it's called. Oh, spelled it wrong. I got something in my eye besides my eyeball. You could use this one if you want to look a little fancy. Maybe since she's like one of the lead actresses or something, do it that way. And the main thing is, if you're going to have it set up so that someone might actually use it, um, then make sure there's plenty of space, especially for, I think the Orin, they like to prop their knee up and their foot can sometimes clash with furniture around it. So, whoops, well, crud. There we go. What is that thing? Never noticed that before. Anyway, guess that was that stem drum thingy. Um, Turn your toggle, your edit off, and then actually use it and see how it looks. You see, like for her, it feels oversized, but see how she's got her foot and stuff. I've seen some put the furniture too close and she's just kind of creeped up to it. So let's see if 0.7 works better for her. Maybe too small. Yeah, her hair is sticking out the back. I didn't notice if it was doing that before or not. Try it at 0.8. Less so. It's a better size, I think, for her. Just her hair sticking out the back. Let's see what 0.9 looks like. Yeah, see, her hair's not sticking out, but it still looks really big for me. But I'll leave it at this. This is about as big as I want to get because, you know, if another character comes in, especially a taller race, they're going to feel like they're sitting on a baby chair, and you don't want that. Okay, maybe they have their script out practicing, so you could use the open book. It's probably the easiest. It's just, I think it costs renown for that. Open book. Yeah, 500 renown. That's probably the easiest to do for like script pages or something. You could use other things probably like trying to think. I know we kind of made that weird little book kind of thing with the cardboard box flaps. You could just put a closed book there if you want. If you're looking for like actual papers though, the closest I think we have is the calendar, but it has all of those little cross marks on it. So maybe you don't want that. If you're looking for actual text stuff, really your best bet is just the open book, large on that. Um, if you just want some pages and you want to kind of fake in your own, layered glass might work. It's not going to be curved like the book is. It's going to be perfectly flat. But if you're just looking for some pages, maybe a couple of bits like that, that might be okay. Possibly, I don't want to do that here because I think it'll look too much like the lights, but another option is maybe using the gear trophies. They're kind of an off-white color. Put several of them together to make them look like pages, sort of. That might work, maybe. I know we have the scattered notes or the discarded notes or whatever, but those are pretty cumbersome and awkward to work with because pages are all different levels. Some of them are crinkly, and if you shrink it down to make like the one a good, let's see, let me try and, yeah, disorganized. I was thinking discarded for some reason, but like if I shrink it down, so like maybe I just want this part showing, I'm pretty limited. Like I can't put it over here because this will be sticking out. Might be able to do it like that. There's the treasure map, but it's got that sword sticking in it. If you turn it upside down, you'll still see the tip of the sword. But then again, that doesn't really look like writing script stuff because it's got like, the X marks the spot on it. Trying to think if there's anything else that has like writing and stuff. If you're looking for if it's a guy's dressing room or something like that, there's the speaker that's got the Draken poster on it. You could pretend maybe that's an outfit for someone, maybe. Maybe it's costume design. I think I'm going to be using this, in fact, uh, in the tailor shop for their little thinking board, idea board. Maybe it's, I don't know, her favorite actress that she's wanting to model after. I don't know, something. But it's really tricky because you don't want it showing that speaker part, but you also want the picture to be showing. You can see how it is very tricky. Something like that. Pictures, maybe it was a play she did before and it has it. Yes, it's got the dragon tail on there and everything, but at least it's a little better than the other one from the calendar where she's on the bike. But now if you just want that showing, the best way to do it is have it on the surface that you want and then just plant it just a bit so that other part isn't showing anymore. I do that with the bottom half a lot, or like a checklist, that kind of thing. But this could be like postcards or something. Yeah, the Merc Dynamite works really well for like a old-fashioned pen. That does work good. I think several have been using the spade for that too. Looks kind of like a fountain pen of some sort. They fatten it up on the handle part, but the end of it um, got that nice little point. Um, I saw someone use one of the vent tanks as well. They just put two of them together and kind of extended it like that. But, you know, if you don't want that showing, you could do it the other way if you just want the X's showing up. You just have to sink it and kind of put something above so that that nail isn't showing. Like maybe this is their acting schedule. This is the days that, you know, maybe they have like a 3-week long kind of thing and they want to mark off the days that they've already shown their stuff. So there you go. Pick it up. Pretend like it's notes of hers. You know how they have like little pictures and stuff on the mirror and all that kind of stuff. That kind of thing. Trying to think what else. Not only do you have the outfits for the costumes or the crown or wigs or whatever, but there's also shoes if you want to come up with ideas for shoes. I don't know what the queen would wear because I think her dress is pretty long and you never see her feet, but I really don't remember. Different kinds of bottles again. A good one probably is, don't know if this one, yeah, if you want like, probably be good for like a lab too, is if you could figure out a way of hiding the books and just having the glass jars. It's a little pricey, but you know, if you're looking for something unusual that you don't normally see, this would probably be the way to do it. And that would be just to hide the books if you can. So there you have two regular bottles. Maybe it's perfumes or something. It's not necessarily needed for acting. Who's going to come up close enough to smell you other than your fellow actors? But maybe it's got other things, or maybe it's a prop that they want to take out. She's got some poison bottle or something. I don't know. Another bottle, I think it's on the speaker again. Yeah, there's the beer bottle here. You'd have to figure out a way of hiding not only the books and stuff, but the trophy as well. Trophy too is also acceptable. Maybe she's won some acting awards or something, and she has those displayed as well. For styling the hair, you could add a hairbrush or a comb. Brush, I think typically folks use like the grass, like the wheatgrass here. They use that in small little clumps to make the brush part. Obviously not that huge, like really dinky, and then they just put it in so you just see a little bit of the bristles. For the base of the brush, I've seen people use the Hugel portrait and then just add a little handle. You could probably use any of those round portrait things if you want, like the one with like looks like a little gnome guy. Yeah, the picture portrait. This would probably work really nice because it's got that filigree around it. And you can either tilt it just enough so that this isn't showing, or kind of incorporate this into the handle and then just put the brush part cover the grass, cover his picture with the grass. Um, that one would work really well. Um, I think probably the quickest, gives you the handle and everything, is the cheese board. So do the one with the cheese wedge, do it like that, flip it upside down, and then you have an automatic brush. You just have to, again, have that privilege of having something thick enough where it hides the cheese. So no clear table, glass tables, that kind of thing. And then add your little grass bits to that. And that's like an Insta brush. Oh, I can't like position that anyway. Guess that needs to be smaller. And it'll use several pieces. I'm trying to think if there's something that you could use that wouldn't require as much. I know there's the tassels on the flat rug. That might look better, but again, you'd still have to use many pieces to get that to fill it up. Really can't think of anything that's maybe some type of fencing. Can't think of any that, I'm thinking teeth is probably better for like a comb. Want to do a comb, like a wooden fence would probably be good for that. So like I'm having to use several pieces just to get this filled up. Um, like trying to think, or comb. Staircase might work, especially the metal one maybe. If you want like quick segmented parts, I'll try and show here in a second as I get this brush sort of filled out. There you go. Good enough for now. The comb, trying to think. I don't know if the stairs would work or not. Because if you flatten it, then the spaces aren't seen as well. I think it's the same with those. If you're looking at it directly from the top, that makes sense. Like if I turn it, then, well, I guess it kind of shows gappies. I know a lot of people like to use these as dry racks for dishes. You'd want to make it like really tiny for a comb. And then I guess some 2x4s or something for the edges to kind of thicken it up a bit. So probably the best is to get straight. Got a couple of spare 2x4s we can use. Gonna be super tiny. Having double up just so that it looks a little thick there. Probably really hard to see. I know it's a dark screen. But there's kind of a comb, sort of. I'm not sure what else you would need. I mean, I don't want to get into like tweezers and clippers and things like that, although you could probably add a pair of scissors here. Maybe they have some loose threads on their costume or, uh, you know, whatever. But I'm not going to get into like the eyelash crimpers or anything like that. But, you know, you could have a little rack for jewelry, like necklaces and brooches and earrings and things like that. You could probably, if you come up with some ideas for shoes, then you could have a little shoe rack as well. But I think most people would probably just put in some wardrobes of some sort that they don't have to show the interior, the contents of it, and just say that it's, something. Now, if you're looking for um, actual costume, clothing pieces, we do have the discarded bra. We have if you were able to get into the Winterfest stuff, there's the Winterfest socks. Let me call up the shopper here so I can show you. For those that are looking for, clothing items, we do have some. There's, like I said, the bra, discarded bra. I don't know, you could pretend it's bathing suit if you want, that kind of thing. There's the shirt, folded shirt. Both of these items, I think they're just random world drops, but you can always check the auction house and you might find some that are relatively cheap. Hey Kruja, glad you could join us. There's the judge's hat and the mystical creatures hat. This one, a lot of people like to use that for like gnomes, holidays. Winterfest is the favorite. There's also the judge's hat, which is pretty cheap. If you happen to have gotten a hold of some of the Shadesy stuff, you might have gotten the top hat prop. You could use that as a Halloween costume starter kind of thing. There's the oh, what's the other thing? Oh no, thank you, boy. I don't want your bra. No, I appreciate it. I'm pretty sure I have some scattered around somewhere. I don't know. A lot of the drapes, a lot of people like to use those as in a like a shelf, not a shelf, a closet setting where they have lots of things loaded up on hangers. they'll use the drapes, the red and white versions as types. Trying to think if there's any actual other clothing bits. Trying to think if there's something. No, there's the hats. Oh, let's see. Was it Angel? No. What's the one with the stick with the like? You know, I know there's the masks. There we go. There's the Shades Eve masks. So if you want to have like supposed blonde wig, or maybe you're doing the mummy man and need some bandaged face. Of course, there's the moody masks that you can use. Trying to think. There's the bow tie, fancy bow tie. It's another kind of uncommon item. The bow tie. What else is there? I know there's some other stuff. I'm trying to think. I'm drawing a blank. I know there's like the backpack if you're looking for a prop kind of thing as well. That's a nice one. Little fabric-y, got the stitches on it. There was can't think of any others. Can you guys think of any more? That's straight up. Yeah, the folded shirt, we showed that one. I guess there's not a whole lot of pieces. If you're looking for just maybe pieces with stitches that looks like fabric, and you're going to really be pushing it. I know there's the blanket on the couch. You can figure out a way of getting just that part to show up, or just using like the edges of that. But again, you're going to have like the interactable bit. All of your pillows have various bits, stitching, tassels, that kind of thing. Plushies are another fun bit. They all have stitches, buttons. Let's see, let me try and find one that's got a button. I think the little Skeech ones have the button eyes. So like if I could get a hold of a bunch of those on my alt, which I don't think I can because these are soul-bound, I could like just have the buttons showing, so have like a little pile of buttons. That would be great for the tailor shop. So you would want to find another plushie that maybe uses buttons for something. But they all have different stitch marks in different places that you might can use in creative ways, that kind of thing. Another one is some of the chairs. This one, like if maybe you're wanting to pretend like something's getting stuffed, you just have that top of that chair with the stuffing showing. Some of the rugs also would work well for different types of fabrics. If you're trying to, you know, put in some stuff to your closet and you just want to make it look like maybe there's capes or something, a lot of the rugs are really good for that. All right, world. Thank you for joining us. I hope you have a good day. The only hats was the ones we showed, the mystical creature, the judges, and the Shades Eve one. I'm gonna have to hunt. I'm pretty sure I have an extra one of those. That'd be fun. Um, of course, there are certain things you could probably make with other items, like using some of the um, trying to think. Like I've made a hat out of let me go show. Since we're kind of at the end of the show here, I don't mind switching off to something else. Um, I know I used some hover part pieces for a hat. I don't remember what I used for the other one. Trying to think. I didn't actually do a clothing shop because I wasn't really sure I could pull off clothing really, but the tailor shop is looking fun now that I did that. I think the hat shop's upstairs. Where is that? Over here? Yeah, here we go. So like this one, we used some hover part pieces to make the brimmed hat, a little sun hat, and then just decorated it with other junk. And then this one was those frilly skirts. It was another like a Easter hat kind of thing. So you could use things for certain garments. I've used blocks, and one of my favorites is boxes of bolts. I use those for boots and shoes all the time. I saw somebody, I think we toured a house a month or so ago that had like some kind of Arctera snow stuff. It looked like a glass slipper boot kind of thing. Caps in the golf shop, that's right. Let's see, what was that on? That was fennel, I think. Yeah, fennel. We've also got some t-shirts in here. So if you're looking for caps, anything that's basically got a round bit and then you make something for the bib. These, uh, you can't exactly use them like this because the parts that I'm using for the bibs actually has stuff sticking out, so that won't work in all cases, but like here we fashioned some goofy t-shirts. Um, there's other materials you could probably use for that kind of thing, but let's see what else. There was something other. Um, I think it was the wild ball field, but I think that was more like I made like little plushy dolls, not exactly the same. But there's a lot of things you could use that could look like it. Like if you're wanting to make wigs and stuff, like if you're having a barber shop and you want to fashion some hairstyles and stuff, a lot of the grasses and trees and things could be used in that way to make weird little hairstyles and colors and things. Um, but for clothes, it's just a lot of it is finding the right colors, items that you can use where you're not having to hide too much, or like if you're just doing a painting of an outfit, then that might be easier because you can hide most of it into the wall, which we might try a painting of something later, I don't know. But yeah, so I think we're going to go ahead and call it, guys, for today. I've got some things I need to take care of as usual. But I hope you had fun and picked up a few ideas maybe. It's going to be slow going for the rest of the month probably, as far as, because like I said, I was trying to avoid doing too much of the fairy tale stuff because I felt like it kind of not exactly intimidated people, but it kind of put them off because I was doing so much of it last month for the Pokemon one. And so I've been kind of restraining myself from trying too many different stories, more just tossing out ideas for others to hopefully encourage some folks to participate in it. But it doesn't seem to be working either way. So maybe next month. I know a lot of people have been getting back to school, getting back to work. The summer is coming to a close, so everybody's kind of, having the blues, getting back to the old, grind, and other things going on. I know there's been a few players that have been having some personal issues that they're having to work through. Um, a lot of us have been sick of late. So, it's any number of things that can kind of come into play that just make it where it doesn't work really well for a given month. And September has been pretty bad for us overall. Anywho, good luck with your projects. Thank you again for joining us, and all of your follows, tweets, retweets, general support, chatter is always welcome. Again, if you have any questions or anything, feel free to ask. If you're too shy to ask it on the stream itself, or you can't make it to the stream to the live, be free to message me in game on Twitter, through the forums. I'm pretty much the same name throughout, so it's pretty easy to find me if you're really wanting to reach out or whatever. I can't promise to answer all your questions, but I will do my best. If I don't know it, I will certainly try and find the answer or direct you to somebody or some place that will probably have the answer. But I'm always happy to help. And if I don't see you tomorrow, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. We will be back tomorrow, probably just goofing around like we did today, on nothing specific, particular, just kind of skipping around here and there. But definitely, if you don't want to join us for any other time, get together with us next Wednesday. We have some more house tours coming up. And of course, on the 30th is the CBDC showcase. It At the moment seems like it's just going to be my junk. I have one person that has actually given me some information about the plot that they're planning to put it or have already put it, but no one else has given me any information, so I don't know if anyone else is building anything. Be sure and get me that info if you do plan to or are considering joining in on the showcase, so that I have that information and can include you in the showcase at the end of the month. So yeah, thanks again, and hope you have a good day. Good luck, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.